Yes, sir. Law 41.
We.
Stepping into a great man's shoes. Judgment. What happens first always appears better and more original than what comes after. If you succeed a great man or have a famous parent, you will have to accomplish double their achievements to outshine them. Do not get lost in their shadow or stuck in a past not of your own making. Establish your own name and identity by changing course. Slay the overbearing father, disparage his legacy, and gain power by shining in your own way.
Mm.
This shit was
Everybody already know where we going with that.
this shit was heavy, B.
Everybody already know where we going with that. It's too many professional athletes, too many entertainers. It's too many everybody that did some type of credibility. Excuse me if I said that word credibility, like in their profession, that they also created a monster overshadowing their legacy. Because it's like LeBron, his sons are gonna have to do some amazing shit to be compared to LeBron or better.
Hey,
Jordan,
hey, let me tell you. Look,
come on.
I got a list of, I got a whole list of people who got like, who've been better
Uh-huh.
than the prior, and then I got some list of people who it's gonna be damn. I can't say because I'm not a fortune teller, but what I can say is gonna be damn hard, and I don't even think they should step in that arena because yeah, like LeBron, like you said,
Ronnie,
LeBron, he shouldn't. I don't even think he shouldn't play basketball. I feel like he went the
I think the same thing.
route. He should have been a video game designer.
I think the same thing as Michael Jordan's son.
Sure.
Like
You never know though. You never know.
Anything else, bro. When you get that pinnacle, like for instance, Floyd Mayweather got, I think, two sons. They have no business ever, and they don't, which is smart. It wouldn't make sense for them to try to box.
That's too much, man. That's a lot. Don't get me wrong, like saying avoiding the challenge, but just looking at history and looking at how things go, it seems like it's never enough when you're trying to fill these big shoes.
It's very rare that the father is at a Hall of Fame all-time great level, and then the son, daughter comes next and can do the same thing, especially in the same sport. It's rare.
All right, so off the can we name a few who have? Can we all name a father and son tandem where the son was better than the father?
Ken Griffey.
That's Ken Griffey, Ken Griffey Jr. Ken Griffey Jr. Yep, that's who I had.
The majority of NBA players.
I also got Barry Bonds also.
Yep, they second generation.
Mm-hmm.
You notice with the second generation NBA players, they way better than their daddies most of the time.
Steph
for sure. Kobe.
You could technically say Clay. Clay better than his daddy.
Better than his dad, absolutely.
It's Devin Booker.
Mm-hmm.
Then it's the rare ones where you're not better than your daddy. Gary Payton's son. He
still got work to do.
What about Tim Hardaway?
Gary Payton wasn't dunking on niggas like his son. With all due respect, he was D'ing people up, but he didn't have the athleticism as his son. His son
I did see that banger highlight too.
Yes, taking off on people, banging.
Yeah. But it's really rare. Like the other father-son duo that I think did it smart was Ken Norton and Ken Norton Jr.
Two different sports.
It is two different sports.
So
but
that's where the law. He made his own mark.
He made his own. Exactly.
Yeah, he did something totally different, and he was just as great. And he's a great coach too. Great coach.
What about Van Peebles? I think they did well.
They did.
You remember them?
That's a good one. Yeah. That's a great one actually, because Melvin was a trailblazer. Mm-hmm. He's a trailblazer in his field.
Mm-hmm.
So is Mario.
You know what I mean?
Mario was one of the few black film directors. He was actor, director, writer.
Yep.
Did his thing.
Oh yeah. And he
Both
has
of them.
under his belt. I don't know any I don't know classic Melvin Van Peebles film, but I know the blaxploitation era in general within itself. That's just groundbreaking alone. But I know, man, Mario has some great films under his belt.
Yeah. One of my favorite films is Posse for sure.
Shout out to the Van Peebles.
Yeah.
Reading a book.
So difficult. Why do you think it's so difficult to step out of the shadows of the form?
Man, because like they said, we just read off said whatever's done first is looked at as the all be all. Like, I ain't never seen it done like that because it was the first. So anything under or after, it's not gonna be the original. And the people who saw the original or heard of it, they're gonna compare it to what they have. You know what I mean? So it's gonna be like, man, Kobe good, but he not Jordan. He didn't go undefeated in the finals every time. You know what I mean? Oh, LeBron good, but he not Kobe. He don't got the killer instinct. It's always gonna be something. You know what I mean? It's always gonna be something they gotta compare it to. But if you do it your own way, you're gonna stand out.
What you just said, I feel one of the best heavyweight boxers ever is Larry Holmes. Larry Holmes does not get enough credit because you know who he came after?
Ali.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like, Ali was charismatic. He was a good-looking guy. Like, he had the world. And Larry Holmes was I'm gonna take my lunch pail to work type of dude. Wasn't verbose like Muhammad. So to have to come and be the champ of the world after that, bro, that's a big ass shoe to fill.
Big shoes to fill. Big shoes to fill.
What do y'all think about, like, because I thought the shit was deep with Alexander and Philip?
Oh, Macedonia, King Philip of Macedonia. Yeah. Listen. What did he tell him? What he said? It's not my father.
Bruh.
This is not my. What did he? What's the Greek god? Menon.
Wait.
Let me see.
Zeus? You mean?
No. Because Alexander the Great was arguably one of the greatest conquerors
By far.
Yeah.
I think it's like, really, you can only other person you can really compare him with is probably Genghis
Khan. Yeah.
Nobody else really. For how much of the world they took over.
Let me see ways. He's not. What did he do?
I'm asking that in the sense of a father who seems like saw his son as a threat and didn't want his son to prosper.
It's a lot
of the master.
Yeah, that's it. There you go. Boy, you took the words right out of my mouth, B. Paul.
Outshining the master for sure.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. You see the greatness, and you see that he's going to, and that's the ego. That's the emotion again, the human emotion, the human nature, And I know a lot of even in the animal kingdom, I know a lot of animals that they'll kill the son or they'll kill the kids because they don't want you to come up.
Well, that's what I mean with the male lions. After the boys get so old, they chase them off. Like, you gotta
get out of here. You gotta get out of here.
You gotta go get it on your own. Like, don't come back.
Yep. Where was it at? I just had it.
While you looking for that, let me see what else.
Have y'all ever found yourself trying to fill big shoes and then got caught up with it and then really realized like how you transgressed and you know what I mean?
You know what? I've always had a good I've always done a good job of having awareness. I've always stayed in my lane. I know when it's I've never gotten too big for my britches, as my as my grandmother would say. I know when I'm out of. I know when it's like, you know what, that ain't for me. That's not.
That ain't me.
I've never tried to do too much, and I've never tried to, but I very well know what it is, my lane. And
straight up,
forward, you're gonna get it. But other than that, I mean, I stay within the confines of my. You feel me? I stay in my square. You know.
I'm
So
with
I never. Yeah, I've never had that issue.
as the old timers would say, I was never walking around smelling my own piss.
Mm.
There you go.
Yeah, nah.
Damn, where? I need to find that, man.
And I think I valued my individuality from a early age, like as a person, too much to try and step into the shoes of somebody else.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, nah. Mm-mm. What about
And
you?
those are two interesting words that I just heard you guys say. We got awareness and then the value to being able to understand and be aware of your value. Like we all not gonna be the same. Being an admirer of greatness or whatever status it is that the shoes that you would try to fill, yeah, that's cool because it'll motivate you, you know what I mean? And to give you some type of direction to what your end result may be, but it's not gonna always be the same path. And I think I realized that for sure. Early, like both of y'all was saying, I realized that early and I wouldn't, and it make you pass and bypass a whole lot of other situations that others may, you know what I'm saying, get they self caught up on for trying to fill some big shoes that they shouldn't have. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So like being able and being blessed to have that awareness and understand the value and you being you is like, man, that shit is one of a kind. That's what make you be like that. That's what makes you you. So yeah, I think we all had that in common. Never really tried to fill any big shoes. Make our own way.
You know what else I thought was very interesting reading it? And I've read this book 3 times at least. In the Keys to Power, it says in many ancient kingdoms, for example, Bengal and Sumatra, after the king had ruled for several years, his subjects would execute him. This was done partly as a ritual of renewal, but also to prevent him from growing too powerful. For the king would generally try to establish a permanent order at the expense of other families and of his own sons. I thought that shit was deep.
Hell yeah. First of all, who the hell gonna step up to be king if they know they're executing shit right after?
You
Gotta be
know,
power tripping crazy trying to do that.
I mean,
uh,
go ahead, G.
I was just gonna say in regards to kingship, man, I think it's difficult to step in those shoes, man, because like you inheriting the sins of the father. So it's a lot that comes along with that. It's a lot that comes along with that.
I like that. I like that you just said that you inherited the sins of the father. Two kings from the Bible. I like to use it as a reference point because it is the most popular book in the world. A lot of people are semi-familiar with these two people who I feel like the son observed this perfectly. David and Solomon.
Mm.
David was David was the rep. David was in the field. David like went and got his war stripes. Solomon was like, yeah, that's not my lane.
Yeah.
But this wisdom thing, I got this on lock. I got this wisdom thing all the way. This I got.
Mm-hmm.
And finding a way to light his own path and make his own way. And I do think that's important. Like it's kind of like when you see those old movies or you see a movie and the daddy's a cobbler, his daddy was a cobbler, his daddy was a cobbler, but now the son wants something different. Like, I don't want to be no damn cobbler. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I got bigger goals and bigger dreams than to be this cobbler. And I think we got to be aware of those things when we dealing with the future so that they are comfortable. So first off, that they know they self and that
Right.
they're comfortable embracing their individuality and
Yeah.
not feeling like they got to walk in somebody else's shoes, but they could strike out their own path.
Straight
Absolutely.
up. That innovation.
I agree to the fullest. Yeah, we touched on this a little bit earlier, I think, man. We had a conversation about this, about letting your about not owning your
Yeah.
children. We grew up a little bit different than our children, and I can speak personally. Like all of my kids, um, they all are different, and they all have their own personalities, and they all are. I think they're all like they're very like my kids have the same awareness that I had. You know, that's something that they're all individually themselves. I don't I'm not one of those parents who tries to get my kids to be like me,
Hmm.
you know. And there was a and to be truthful, there was a time where I tried, like in the beginning, like I wanted them to do certain things. I wanted them to dress a certain way, you know. And as I kind of had to take a step back, you know, because I'm seeing them grow and I'm seeing them evolve and progress, and I'm like, wait a minute, this kid has his own style. She has her own mind. He does he does things in a unique way, and he gets the job done. You know, it's not the way that I would do it, but it's effective and it's unique and he's getting it done. So who am I as a parent to tell my kid not to do them
Hmm.
when that's one thing that my mother always told me to just be an individual. You're a leader and never a follower. So
Mm-hmm.
just that one thing alone will keep your kid on the path of what's the words I'm looking for? Just knowing the knowledge of self. They'll know who they are, you know,
Yeah.
and becoming who they are, they'll figure it out. But you can't hinder that. You can't place your projections and your fears and your insecurities on your child, you know. So yeah, man, individuality, man, self-awareness. Um and like now I don't want my kids to be anything like me, you know. I want them to be better than me. I'm not pushing sports and all that kind of shit that was, you know, that was pushed on us. You know, that was we were told that's what we had to do. You know, it was sports entertainment in the streets. You know, and now that's not even in my top five for my kids. You know, at all. That's not even a thought.
It was funny. Speaking of that, me and Mama was talking, and she was just like, we were just like joking about if we came from one of those super well-off families, and I was just like, oh, I know what I would have did. I like one thing I would have did is I would have stayed working out. Working out would have been a staple just because of who we are. But I'm like, oh, I would have been a cultural anthropologist. I'm like, I'd be traveling the world, learning different cultures, being with different people. And I like that you mentioned that because we were put in a box and then we boxed ourselves in.
Hmm.
Like this is what everybody does. This is what I'm gonna do. We didn't think bigger than that. Like
But
now we're willing to think like a owner instead of a player. Like we
agreed.
think, oh man, I just want to play, and instead of no, I could own the team.
Yeah.
I could be an owner and not a player.
As an adult, man, I wish we really even as a kid, we've been told all the time we can do whatever we want. You know, you can do whatever you want if you put your mind to it.
But
And
one of the most underrated,
that's
overstated
for real.
cliches ever heard.
It's the realest though. It's the realest.
Really
Um,
is.
because it's that is the one. That is the top. That's the cherry on the top. Because that's the one, man. Treating people how you want to be treated, and you can do anything that you want if you put your mind to. Those two alone.
As
Those are the
Energy and mental.
as you think it, so it will be.
yeah, absolutely. But I say that because um children have that freedom. Like they have this uncanny careless, but also this what's the they have that thing that we lack as adults,
The
and we
power of the
lose
imagination.
and we lose it. There you go. And we lose it. due to trauma, to all the things that we go through in life, to people's opinions that don't matter.
Indoctrination.
Yeah, different indoctrines. Like it's all it's deep. It's really deep. But kids can do whatever they want, man. And I wish we still had that mentality as adults to be able to do what we want in the regards of being free and wanting to be ourselves, our true selves. Because a lot of times we're just doing what somebody else wants us to do or what we know, and it's not really what's good for us, you know, coming into our true selves. A lot of us aren't our true selves, you know.
That's one of the goals with the channel for sure. And I know that we all agree upon that. We all gonna grow and try to help guide and just build anybody that's going through the same stuff like us and the same stuff I mentioned is life. Since we all breathing and watching this now, I understand. And I know that people are gonna look to us for the type of experience and our input from what we have collected and experienced through these years on earth and trying to figure out how to better the process of, you know what I mean, living and stuff like that. So we use this and be very observant. And these examples that we read and these examples that we have seen, like you said, that was laid down before us and that what we look up to and draw from. So we want to ask for our own shoes instead of trying to fill somebody else's. I think I like them to the left instead of the ones I'm looking at right here. You feel me? And be comfortable picking the ones that we like.
Yeah, I think we good on that.
Sure.
Keywords. I'll kick it off. Individuality.
Awareness.
Foundation.
This was good money.
Yeah.
Well, y'all.
All right, y'all.
Go ahead, talk to him, G.
All right, y'all. Make sure you guys like, subscribe, comment, tell a friend.
Do whatever you do. Meet us in the comments too.
We respond to comments. We respond to
meet us in the comments.
DMs. We respond to those too. But talk to us in the comments because you might be asking something or saying something that somebody else needs. So comment.
Indeed.
Word.
Do that.
Word.
And until next time, blessings.
Love.
Peace.